The droving tracks are over, they move in cattle train. Well, there's red dust on the ridges and black soil on the plain. The driver strokes his eye and Stephen springs to a bucket seat. He throws the monster into gear and she moves on rubber feet. The hobbles and horse bells hang silent on the wall. They've been on many stages through downs and timbers tall. Beside the saddles and the packs that were the drover's pride, the road trains roar along the tracks where the drover used to ride. But it's road trains roll, road trains roll. The stock routes are deserted, no droving plant you see. The bores and tanks they watered at are just a memory. No more you'll see the mob strung out along the sunburned plain, where the old-time drover used to drove through dust and heat and rain. He sees again in fancy beside the campire's glow the battered old Badori that once was filled with dough, with saddle gear and swag wrap rolled out by the fireside. To drove again would be this old-timer's joy and pride. But it's road trains roll, road trains roll. Road trains roll along the tracks where the drovers used to ride, churning up the bull dust as they roll the miles aside. Like a winding reptile with trailers wide and long, over the road and rangeland where the drover sang his song. There's Saltbush Bill and Clancy, old drovers long since dead, who'd marvel to see a fleet of trailers load 1,000 head. Maybe their ghosts are watching as progress takes a stride, and the road trains roar along the tracks where the drover used to ride. But it's road trains roll, road trains roll, road trains roll, road trains roll. My story swings around a bunch of soldiers resting close behind the battle scene. There were men from many nations represented, a rugged, tough, United Nations team. They spoke about their own beloved homeland, resting far from all the tortured battle scene. On this day, the lad who claimed the most attention was a young Australian soldier who began. Now I have never claimed to be an amateur, and I've never taken up the painter's brush, but in words, my lads, I'll paint for you a picture of my homeland and the wide Australian bush. Have you ever seen the western plains at sundown, and the fiery streaks that seem to blaze across? Then later in the evening seen a ghost come, standing silently beneath the Southern Cross. Have you ever heard the wild swan in its calling on the stillness of some faraway lagoon, or seen the place where brumbies come to water? They'll always come at rising of the moon. Have you ever wandered through some thirsty gully in the springtime when the wattles are in bloom? If you've never, then you'll never know the sweetness that fills the air around with its perfume. Have you ever gazed upon a peaceful homestead with the old blue mountains standing in the view? the homestead cattle grazing by the river. From the hillside bounds an old man kangaroo. In the evening seen the smoke rise from the chimney. Tells the day is done and soon it's time for tea. Hear the jackass laughter ringing through the bushland. Well, that's God's own country and home sweet home to me. Have you ever seen a wheat field in the morning, when the dawn wind ripples through the golden grain? Or stroll beside the farmlands in the dawn time and smelt their earthly freshness after rain? No, I have never claimed to be an amateur, and I said before I'd never used the brush. But I hope, my lads, I painted you a picture of my homeland and the wide Australian bush. I was dreaming of old Ireland, of Killarney's lakes and fells. I was thinking of the Shamrock and the dear old Shannon bells, when my memory suggested, in a vision bright and clear, all the strange things that would happen if we had old Ireland here. If the Blarney Stone stood out on Sydney Harbour, and Dublin town to Melbourne came to stay, if the Shannon River joined the Brisbane waters, and Killarney's lakes flowed into Botany Bay, if the Shannon bells rang out in old Fremantle, and County Cork in Adelaide did appear, Erin's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home, if we only had old Ireland over here. There'd be lots of lovely fairies dancing on the village green. There'd be lots of lovely colleens, the finest ever seen, where the boys are all called Paddy and the girls called Molly dear. Sure, we'd wrap the green flag round them if we had old Ireland here. If the Blarney Stone stood out on Sydney Harbour, and Dublin town to Melbourne came to stay, if the Shannon River joined the Brisbane waters, and Killarney's lakes flowed into Botany Bay, if the Shannon bells rang out in old Fremantle, and County Cork in Adelaide did appear, Erin's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home, if we only had old Ireland over here. I found him by the railroad tracks this morning. I could see that he was nearly dead. I knelt down beside him and I listened, just to hear the words the dying fellow said. said they let me out of prison up in Frisco. For 10 long years I've paid for what I've done. I was trying to get back to Louisiana just to see my Rose and get to know my son. Give my love to Rose, please won't you, mister? Take her all my money, tell her buy some pretty clothes. Tell my boy the daddy's so proud of him. But don't forget to give my love to Rose. Tell them I said thanks for waiting for me. Tell my boy to help his mom at home. Tell my Rose to try and find another, 'cause it ain't right that she should live alone. Mister, here's the bag with all my money. It won't last them long the way it goes. God bless you for finding me this morning. Now don't forget to give my love to Rose. Gather round, all people strong and true. Here's a message now for you. There's a land of love for you and me, and life eternally. All you need is earnest prayer and a little tender care for people who may bore you. You can do it if you try. Do as you'd be done by, and you'll find a range of glory. I'm doing no one wrong with my yodel and my song. Come boys and hear my story. I'll be yodeling on my way till I'm old and grey, heading out for that range of glory. Jimmy Rogers will be there that day, greeting everyone to say, all you singers from the great outdoors, here's your home forevermore. You can write your name in stars, you can strum your guitars, millions will hear your story, and the nations they will smile in the good old country style, out on that range of glory. When it's night time on the glory range, on those far-off rolling plains, you can see the campfires burning bright, and the boys will sing with all their might. Then we'll ride on aiming stars and we'll strum our old guitars. Millions have learned our story, and it's proven by the test that the country life is best, far out on that range of glory. I've been drinking since I was 4. Ain't had enough and I still want more. Fill 'em up again, place of glasses in a row. I've been in the horrors and started to shake. The good hard liquor is what I take, and my pal alcohol, I love you so. And when I'm far away from home and there's no pub I'll brew my own out of vegetables or anything that grows. I drink it till my eyes bulge out, then I scream and rave and shout, 'Cause my pal alcohol, I love you so. I've a lot of good reasons for drinking, and one's just entered my head. If you don't have a charge when you're living, you got no flaming chance when you're dead. Oh, I don't care what people think, it's a well-known fact I'll die from drink. And my pal alcohol, I love you so. I've two very fine physicians, they've guided me on my tracks. One doctor's name is 4X, the other one's name is Max. Well, I've seen my whiskers curl and sins when I get through from a weekend binge. With my pal alcohol, I love you so. I hear there's a drink called water, it may appeal to some blokes. To me I think it's unhealthy, see what it does to the bottoms of boats. Well, this song's about to end, I think I'll have to go for another drink. And my pal alcohol, I love you so. Well, I'm a scrubber, runner, and a breaker too. I live on damper and wallaby stew. I've got a big cattle dog with a staghound cross. I never saw the scrubber that we couldn't toss, 'cause I'm the fella from Cunnamulla. Yes, I'm the Cunnamulla fella. Once when I was droving on the cattle trails, I met a little girl, her name was Ada Vale. I said, marry me, Ada, and I'll be the feller, and we'll settle down at Ogafeller. I'll be the feller at Ogafeller. Yes, I'll be the Ogafeller feller. Well, she said her daddy's name was Charleville. She had a lot of kiddies and a lot of bills. So I grabbed my horse that was nice and handy, and I never stopped till I reached Durham Bandy. I was a dandy at Durham Bandy. Yes, I was a Durham Bandy dandy. Hey, look out now. In my moleskin trousers and my Williams boots, I'll board an outlaw as he leaves the chutes. With my gooseneck spurs I rake their fiery hides, and the girls all shouting around the ringside. Oh, he's the fella from Cunnamulla. Yes, he's the Cunnamulla fella. Well, I've done a little fighting in the western bars, done a little loving neath the moon and stars. I wear bright clothes and shirts full of color, and the girls know me as that certain fella. Yes, he's the fella from Cunnamulla. Oh, he's the Cunnamulla fella. Yes, he's the Cunnamulla fella. An old rocking horse who is lonely, for his playmate has gone far away to a boarding school down in the city for the rest of his boyhood days. So they locked him away in the storeroom along with some saddles and crates, and he just stands alone sadly pining for those happy days with his mates. He remembers the miles that they traveled, all the prairies and sagebrush and sand, and his old hide is scarred by the arrows when they fought the wild Indian band. With Buffalo Bill in the saddle, the Indians fell by the score. Oh, why did his little mate leave him, and won't he come home anymore? So the old pony stood in the storeroom. For years he just waited in vain till his coat became dusty and mouldy, and spiders built webs in his mane. And then came a car to the homestead, and the old pony's heart filled with joy. 'Twas his own dear mate grown to manhood, with his wife and their own little boy. Now the old rocking horse is leg weary from chasing wild scrubbers all day, and a tired little stockman is sleeping close by on a bundle of hay. From the doorway the father stands watching, and his mind goes back through life's course to his own boyhood days at the station, with the same faithful old rocking horse. Do you remember our night of meeting? We were so happy, so young and gay, and we went wandering in the moonlight, down where the weeping willows sway, and our first kiss, dear, there in the moonlight. Do you remember as well as I? Our dreams were so gay as we wandered on our way, when I first saw the love light in your eyes. If I live my life again, I would have it just the same, and meet you there beneath the moonlit sky. Share the same embrace in that dear old happy place, where I first saw the love light in your eyes. The path of life, dear, has many changes, filled with laughter and bitter tears, but together we've shared the weather, hand in hand through the ever-changing years. We've been so happy, my little darling, we've hardly noticed the years go by. But always in my mind will be memories of the time when I first saw the love light in your eyes. If I live my life again, I would have it just the same, and meet you there beneath the moonlit sky. Share the same embrace in that dear old happy place, when I first saw the love light in your eyes.